That 50-50 shot of red ring and silvers being in 9 is going to give you some info there as well. So I think getting the Armos item is a priority play between these two.
It looks like we are getting underway, and it turns out the wood sword is, in fact, in the vanilla location.
It's nice to have that. I mean, you have 0 HP enemies, so now they're not going to have any problems right now with exploration of the overworld. Random does not get the first bomb, neither does Captain Green, so that bomb would have been nice to just check these caves near start. Other than that, what they're going to be doing is they're just going to be right now just gathering information, get as much info as possible, find some levels, find level 9, which is a priority find for them, and go as fast as they can.
Looks like they've already located a shop with some bombs, and it's not that nice to them. It's going to be 33, which could have been anywhere between 1 and 40.
Yeah, it's definitely on the high end, but luckily they both got a global there on their 6, which was good. So Captain Green's got a 20 secret here. They're both in the river cave. They're both kind of taking the same routing. They're going left first. So it's teach their own. I mean, everybody has their own way of routing, and whatever is quickest for you and most efficient is the best way to go. I like to go right because, like you asked about the Armos and stuff like that. That's just my preferred way.
Another thing that Garen's pointing out in chat right now is that the hint type is going to be randomized, so it's, in his opinion, it's already narrowed down to deceptive or normal. Would you be saving money at any point knowing that it could be deceptive to try and utilize those hints, or are you utilizing it towards something else?
Yeah, I like actually when hints are deceptive because, I mean, helpful's obviously the best, but deceptive hints are kind of cool because it's 50-50. You're going to get some info, and let's say it's a level you haven't cleared yet. You're going to go ahead and jump into that level for whatever item they're telling you about because it's a better chance there than anywhere else. You got a 50% chance, which is better than any other item location. So I don't mind deceptive at all.
It looks like they both are about to find or are currently in their first dungeon. Looks to me, based on where it's starting, that it might be 5.
Yeah, it definitely... I think you hit the nail on the head. I think it's 5 just because that vertical on the right side. Not many dungeons do that. I mean, 8 right here is going to be flat on this far right side, so I think that is definitely 5.
Unfortunately, they are both key blocked and ladder blocked out of progressing in there, so they both had to back out and look for something else.
Yeah, you know, you see Captain Green going towards the coast. Going to check out his coast item here. Going to check out far down here, and Random's found another level here. Does get a heart container. It's going to help him for the white sword item, if needed. White sword item is going to be randomized between 4 and 6 hearts, so Random is going to be the first player that's got an opportunity for that.
Yep, and based on the 4 rooms at the bottom, this is likely level 8.
Yeah, this is a good dungeon to find early. You got 2 items here. 8's not huge, right? You think 8 is one of the hardest levels. Well, really, in the vanilla game, it's hard because of the difficulty of enemies, not because it's so spread out or there's a lot of room. So 8's actually a pretty efficient check.
Yeah, and that has 2 items, which makes 7 really the more painful of the ones to dig in Randomizer, in my opinion.
Yeah, 7 is the one you definitely want to avoid. Absolutely, you're right.
And when I avoid it, it has ladder, bow, silver.
Always,
arrows,
right?
Anything I need.
Always. Yeah. Key blocked again, man. This is the linchpin of 8 right there. That's the only room that you can go vertical in. So unless there's a stairway in the bottom 4 rooms, Random is out of luck here and has to go somewhere else. We did see the heart is the coast item too. Captain Green has found our Boomstick book here. This is a Boomstick seed. So for 209, you can buy a book which will turn the wand into a boomstick, giving you bomb capabilities at the end of every wand beam. That thing is so clutch, man.
It'll be interesting to see if either runner is able to get to it. As we see, the boomerang is the Armos item.
The boomerang with 0 HP enemies is actually really deadly. I love that as an item.
Yeah, if only it was blue.
Priorities, right? All right, so neither runner yet has found level 9. They're kind of taking a divergence of path, which is good. We got Captain Green in the forest over by vanilla level 2. You got Random by vanilla level 1. We'll see which way he goes after this. I have to think he's going to go to the northeast.
It looks like we have 16 door repairs, and the small secret, I think, is capped at 20, so looks like you're not going to be too pained by these door repair charges this seed.
Yeah, this is a money-rich seed so far, so Basically, this is going to come down to whoever routes and you don't want to say gets luckiest, but finds 9 and finds that info faster than the other.
So let's ask another question of you here. You've got a money-rich seed as we see large as 99. Do you consider, based on seeing the first 2 dungeons key blocked on random effect side, buying a key?
Yeah, I mean, if you've seen, especially if you've seen the large at 99 and you've seen that the money is flowing, I always buy 1 key in these seeds. I really do, just because, like the Swiss flags that we're getting ready to have for the new tournament, it's 5 Triforces, right? Anytime you have less Triforces, you're less likely to get that any key. And I think that having the resources of free keys early is really, really going to help you. So, absolutely, I make that purchase. What about you? What do you think?
I seem to struggle more with key blocks than I do with the combat that I would need the Boomstick for. And with the 10 counts that you kind of pick up as you play Randomizer, I think I'd much prefer the key.
Yeah, to me, when you're 0 HP, the Boomstick is not as important here, so you don't really want to save that money for that. I mean, your sword's going to do as much damage as the Boomstick, and you really don't need it for holes like bomb holes and stuff like that anyway, because you know the shape of the dungeon. So, yeah, I think you're exactly right. You want to use it for keys and resources like that other than that Boomstick.
It looks like we have another dungeon up in the northeast coast. Maybe 3 or 1 depending on... Oh?
Yeah, I think that's 3. I think that's the left side of the Manji there.
Yeah, I was originally going to go with 3 or 1, but I think 7 based on that compass skit.
Captain Green navigating really well so far. He's trying to not use these keys and avoid using those, so he went around, and I like that. Yeah, this is really smelling like 3 to me on Captain Green's side.
It looks like he is venturing down towards the Triforce. We're going to find out pretty shortly what it is. And it is 3, you were correct.
Yeah, just kind of the way that wrapped around, and you couldn't get to this room from the middle column that he went up through. That's what made it feel like that.
So he's 1/4 of the way towards his entrance to level 9. I suspect he will... Well, no, he's going to go ahead and leave for now.
Yeah, so here, and this is the weirdness of this routing, right? So when you're playing against 10 people and you're trying to not be last like these battle royales, you want to play it safe. So you might dig a couple more dungeons and let's try to find bows, try to find silvers. Here, when you have just one other person, if you dig dungeons and Ganon's not required and it's pretty much open in a free 9, you could lose on the spot just because of that decision. So I think Captain's Green is not digging dungeons. He's only going to get Triforces, look for 9, and let 9 tell him how he should play the rest of the seed. I think that's the best way to play it when you're playing against 2 people or 1 person. I think he's doing it correctly here.
He has found level 6, and it looks like the Dig Dogger says, no, you are going to leave.
Yeah, that was rough. That 6 is either just segmented like that, or maybe that's an item room on the other side there that he just can't get into.
And now we have random effect in another dungeon, so they're coming fast and furious, and this is level 1.
Yeah, this is a good one to find. You got those 2 items. It's going to be quick Triforce. There's only, what, a handful of rooms, 15 rooms, something like that. There's not many there, so this is a great level to find early.
And a bright yellow dungeon on the Lost Hills.
Yeah, dungeons are coming, like you said, fast and furious, which is nice. I mean, we don't have to play the guessing game of trying to find all these things. The thing I like about random finding that raft is that, let's say 9 is a raft spot, and you've got Captain Green just trying to find Triforces. If he doesn't go left there, and if he just goes up and let's say, oh, there's a compass, okay, let's keep going north, and he's got a key there to get through, he may not get that item out of 1 either, because he's just banking on 9. He's trying to go as fast as possible, and 9 could be raft blocked. So raft, power bracelet, those things are anything that lets you explore the overworld, I think are priority finds.
Yep, and yet another key block and a leave your life or key room on Captain Green's side.
It's nice for him. He's only got 3 hearts, so he goes to zombie link mode, but he does get past that and never has to go back. So luckily he found that when he had no hearts.
This is feeling like an easier 7 guess for me.
I think you're right. Absolutely. God, you see that and you just want to dip, don't you? You just want to get out of there. You want no part of 7. He's going back in. Let's see.
Yeah, it's a tough call. You got the compass, but such a big map, and if you don't get an early staircase, it just takes you right there. Is it really worth digging to that, you think, or would you prefer to leave?
Well, you got Adirondack Rick who calls this 30 rooms of pure torture, and it is just because you're racking your mind of how to get this as fast as possible. Do you dig the item? Do you not? You're going all the way to the back end of the dungeon anyway. I mean, it's one of those things that 7 is no fun no matter when you find it, where you find it, anything like that.
Well, it does look like he's finding a path of limited resistance up to the Triforce room, so perhaps it's going to work out for him this time.
Oh, I'm being corrected in chat. I'm sorry, Agent. That's Laws, not Rick. So either one, somebody calls it that. I know that. That's all I know.
Well, we got for that.
Jeez, we got a ladder block there too. That's terrible.
Ladder block with the ladder somewhere in 7, eh?
That's 2.
Oh,
yeah, going up the right side of it, I kind of questioned it as we were going through. It is 2. So he may stay and try to find the item. Did you find a floor item yet over here?
I don't think he's found the floor item, so I guess now the play is to look for it.
Yeah, grab keys. 2 usually has some pretty free keys. The nice thing about levels 1, 2, and 3 is that if you have a room that's adjacent to you, as long as you can get to it, you can bomb into it. So you can pretty much avoid key blocks. Like this one, you can't. It's a one-off room. But if you've got a room that's adjacent to you, you're going to be able to bomb into it at least. The game promises you that. There's the floor heart. So he's probably going to dip out of here. And unless he gets the ladder, needs that Triforce to come back. Maybe he's going to look a couple more rooms for the item. But this is kind of a bummer of a trip through 2 for green.
It looked like he had about 3 or 4 rooms left and 2 to check. I guess he's trying to clear this keys room to make sure this isn't it.
Yeah, it's a wise play. Random over here at another level is grabbing the floor heart. He's up to 7 hearts already, which is kind of nice, having that health when you get into 9, because 9 could be crazy. Even though 0 HP enemies, you get some Wizrobes shooting at you and stuff like that. You do want kind of a nice heart total, and he's there for him. Very nice combat on Captain Green's side to get through those Lemolas. There's a 5 rupee. I'm not sure how many more rooms he has here on the right side.
Is this room and the one above it left to check?
Random is running into all kind of key blocks, and that was level 4 there that Random's in. So again, that was the only way he could get north there was through a key. So you asked about buying keys earlier. I think Random is going to be very, very close to buying his first one as soon as if he finds a key shop. I'll be shocked if he doesn't buy one.
And we have level 9 right next to level 2, which had the bow on the floor.
It's really good because so far he has not seen, I mean, he hasn't really dug anything yet, but he has not seen the silvers or the red ring, and the silvers and red ring flag is 50-50 in this one, so his silvers could be in level 9. So right now he is going to prioritize Triforces like crazy and get into 9 as fast as possible.
Well, I think we found every other level, so I can probably guess 7 and be safe this time?
It's always 7, right? Yeah, I think this is 7 for sure. Yeah, Captain Green with the hard find. Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, if this Triforce is stuck just in the very far tip of 7 in the very north part, it's going to be kind of a bummer for him because he's in Triforce and Go mode in his mind. Oh, and he does take a Wizrobe snipe there. Yeah,
0 HP or no 0 HP, it's still Wizrude.
Yeah, that doesn't help you defensively, right? Only on the offense. I mean, you're still a danger on 4 hearts in dungeons like this. And that's what I said, that Random's heart total is kind of nice right now just because you do have some very tough rooms sometimes to get through.
Looks like a boomstick play may be being made. Nope, says no.
No, he's saving money for keys for sure. There's no way he's going to buy that boomstick, especially because with 4 Triforces, I think, I don't know about you, but if you're not guaranteed a wand, I think those 200 rupees are kind of a waste unless you've already seen it. I don't think I'd make that purchase there.
Yeah, you could maybe convince me if it was somewhere on the overworld, the wand, but other than that, I think I'd skip it.
Yeah, you might not even see the level because of the 4 Triforce nature of this that has the 1 in it. So not even having an opportunity for it. Sometimes you just be sitting with the book for no reason. So Captain Green unfortunately knows that this is 7 now, and he is going to make the choice to go ahead and try to go through it. Really needs this to be the Triforce room right here.
In my opinion, I think it's the correct decision to go ahead and bail out, especially now that he's blocked out of most of his options.
Yeah, I do too. So in his mind right now, he's thinking, okay, 2 is ladder blocked. 7 is just a pain in the butt. So he's got 6 Triforce, 6 levels left that he can get 4 Triforces. Those are still pretty good odds. He has 1 Triforce already, hasn't found level 1, those types of things. So I agree with you. I think this is a good play on his part.
Yeah, he knows level 5's location. He has keys to get around that initial key block. And now that he's gone back to start, he may get lucky and find both 8 and 1.
You see random here. He's going to actually buy 2 keys. I think this is a very heads-up play. He's ran into 3 key blocks now in 3 dungeons, and he does not want that anymore. So his hope now is whichever key door he goes back to, it opens just up like a plethora of keys for him. It's just a key avalanche after that. So that's what he's crossing his fingers for, and let's hope it works out for him.
Yep, the usual play is you buy all your keys with all your money, and your first item would be
the any key.
Yeah, the any key. The game knows.
He does know. That's exactly right. He is up here in the Northeast now. We're talking about random, so he's going to find 3 and 6 here back to back, which is going to be a couple of good finds for him because we know that 3 Triforce is free. It's going to be his first Triforce, so catch him up in that department on Captain Green's side. I think Captain Green has just a little bit more information than Random does, just because Random's kind of been up against it with these key blocks and the levels that he's chosen to do early. All right, so the Captain Green up A, is he in 8? Yeah, he's back in 8. Okay, so this is going to be a good dungeon for him. It's pretty usually open. It's not linear. There's a lot of space on the left side that you can go to and get around. So I think this is a good choice of which dungeon to dig here, especially because you have 2 items too, and he had the compass. So all around good play here.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to just peek into the staircases that are on the way to the Triforce, but otherwise try and make his way up to try and get to 9 as fast as possible.
Yeah, I definitely would be doing the exact same thing. I think he's making a wise play here. Random about to get his Triforce out of 3, and chat says he might have another Triforce. I'm not sure. He might. We'll check on the pause screen for sure.
It looks like Random might peek back into 3 for the item after all, so let's see if he gets lucky and finds it quickly.
Yeah, it's a smaller dungeon. I like the play. He's just kind of pot committed to what he's thinking about is, you know, any level that I get the Triforce in, if it's small enough, let's go ahead and grab whatever item it is. Because, I mean, if it's going to be like the bow or the ladder or something like that, or red ring, it could definitely help me in 9. So he's not going to go out of his way and find, you know, all 8 levels and that type of thing, but he is going to find these items. We do have a bloomerang on Captain Green's side, and of course you called it, man.
The game just knows. That's it.
Jeez, you hit the nail on the head with that one. Unfortunately, Random, finds the any key, but unfortunately you spent about $200 in keys before that.
Yep, the happier of the 2 will be Captain Green, who found superior model and another river block.
Yeah, I would debate that, but sure. All right, so Random's in 6 is going to unfortunately find out that you're going to need a recorder to get through 6 because that bomb hole does not blow. So he's going to have to find a different level.
Yeah, we may have seen a boss in the Triforce room in 8. We didn't quite get enough load time to know what exactly it was.
Yeah, I didn't catch it either. I apologize.
I know, he just saw the ladder block and said, nope, can't go in there.
So this is a mystery chat. We don't know if Random's got one Triforce or two, and because of Select Swap, you don't really go to your menu much. So the only time we'll know Random's got 4 is when he makes a break for 9. So I apologize there.
Yeah, if I had a guess, he did go into 1 pretty early, but he got key blocked, so I don't think he went anywhere but 3 after that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I know he's got a lot of key blocks, and I think he just had a lot of bad luck there. So I think he's on 1 as well, but somebody in chat thought he had another one, so we'll see. Chat's wanting to know where the ladder is tonight. We have no idea. If you guys have a guess, so go ahead and throw it in chat, but we do not know to this point. We have not found the white sword item, have we?
No, we have not. It's still on the loose.
Yeah, so that could be a possibility there. We've seen a lot of other items, but we have not seen that white sword item. So ladder missing could be there, could be in 7, could be something like that as well. Random taking a death to those Lamolas. One of the things he could have done is when he killed that first one, left the room and come back, and they would have both been dead. But in the heat of the moment, he was trying to just get through to that Triforce, and he just wanted to get through. And 0 HP enemies, he made a play to get the kill, and unfortunately did not.
Yep, the good news in here is that he will potentially find himself a bow. The bad news is when he finds a Triforce room, he's not going to be happy.
Yeah, this is the river blocked or moat blocked Triforce room that he's going to need the ladder. He's very happy to get that bow, like you said, but he is not going to be thrilled here in a second.
Especially now he has to go back to start.
Yeah, for a 3rd time in the dungeon. So it's been a rough string of luck here for Random in level 2. Do have Captain Green down here in the southwest looking for more levels. Don't know what level maybe he hasn't seen. Maybe level 5, I think, is where... No, he's seen level 5 too, so I'm not sure what he's doing over here in the southwest.
He did not see level 1. He went straight up and bombed into 8 from the start screen and then went left.
There you go. So yeah, he's searching out level 1 for those 2 items because he has the bow. But more importantly, he wants that Triforce to get to 9.
Yep, but he may find a white sword item down here, as I don't think Random Effect cleared this area.
Yeah, none of this and none of Death Mountain are the kind of the remaining spots. And the forgotten spots up there before you get to Death Mountain, the transition and stuff is all consideration as well. Everything else has been pretty scouted. So Random does find 9, which is important for him. So information-wise, I think we're about in the same place. I wouldn't give either one an information edge right now. So it looks like Random is in level 7, I believe, is this red and black one.
Yep, he is in level 7. I'm a bit surprised. I thought it was a key block in 1. In Random's situation, would you consider going back to 1 soon?
Yeah, but not when you're already out exploring, because let's say he gets to 3 Triforces. I think he'll go back to 1 at that point. He knows where it is, and it's by an up A where you can start, or you can up A in your start, sorry. So I think he's waiting for that point, but he doesn't want to break off his exploration just to go back there yet.
That is a fair point.
Both these runners, Chatter, are very, very fast. They're very good at these flags. I mean, if you've seen the times that they put up in this, they've just been monsters in this category. So this is a really fun matchup to watch.
Yeah, they're not just monsters in this category either. If you've looked at a lot of the Battle Royale results, you'll see Captain Green up there in one-hit KO and the first Boomstick fun flag set, and then Random's also been in some teams and some singles matches of his own. So neither one of these runners are slouches.
Yeah, they're very good. This is cream of the crop, like you said, for the Battle Royale. So there's that up A that you were asking about, and he is back in 1 to see what he can find. So this is actually going to be new to us. We've not seen this level 1 thoroughly explored yet.
And the only reason I really asked the question of it is, with it only being 15 rooms, and with there being 2 items, it might have the ladder, or it might have something that makes it easier to get through some of the blocks you've had, as we see a power bracelet on Captain Green's side.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer to find that power bracelet, but he's not seen one yet. So he went ahead and picked it up because to him, level 1 could be behind there. Random would, he's seen all the levels now, he would turn around and wouldn't need that one. There's the wand. So Boomstick back in play. Don't think he'll go out of his way to get another 100 rupees or whatever, but if he happens to creep up closer to that number, you may see Random head over there, especially because 9 is on the right side of Hyrule as well. Yeah, this NSU room is so dangerous, those Lionels. They can snipe you from across the room very quickly. Those swords fly fast.
Thankfully, he did have a ranged weapon in the inferior model, so he got through that room okay. As Random Effect picks up the Triforce in 1.
So that probably confirms it that that's his second Triforce, because that was the one we weren't sure about, but like you said, he got key blocked. I think he's on 2. I think chat, yeah, we're correct right now. We're on 2, and the tracker has nailed it. So now you can kind of see Random putting his foot on the gas a little bit here. He has picked out the levels that I think that he wants to explore and the ones he wants to get the Triforce out of, kind of prioritize those levels. He's now, I believe, we're in level 8. So he knows where this Triforce is. He's going to make a break for this one and try to get to 4 Triforces as quick as possible and get inside level 9. So now that he has all of his exploration and his knowledge base of what the this seed is trying to do to him, you see him kind of accelerating a little bit and getting towards 9.
It'll certainly give us an opportunity to see what exactly the boss was in level 8.
Yeah, I'm thinking it was probably a Goma, or I think it was a Goma.
I saw something spawn on the right side of the room, so it's a question of probably Dig Dogger or Aqua Menace?
Oh, it was on the right? Okay, yeah, probably Dig Dogger then. Oh, it was just ladder blocked.
Yeah, it's ladder blocked from that, so I'm not sure if you can get around it with that staircase. Or maybe through this room. Based on the roar, I think it's Aqua Menace in this case.
Yeah, I'm muted, so I can't hear that. It's a red candle, which does not help him because he already has ranged weapons. He's good to go there. Just an Aqua Menace. To answer the question in chat trail, Ganon is 50-50 to be required. It could be required, could not be required. So they both have a bow. Neither one has silvers. You'll see them go into 9 very quickly to see if Ganon's required. Either find that door where Zelda's behind or get some info in there. Right now we don't know. It's 50-50. Captain Green looks like he's making the Death Mountain play, looking for level 1. So he's either like completely missed this on his tracker, or this is just his natural routing anyway. We hope it's natural routing type of thing, and he just didn't mark down that he did that bush near start. It's kind of weird to leave that one isolated, but this is good. This could be like a ladder or something like that that is required in the seed up here as the white sword item. We still have not found that thing.
Looks like Random Effect is going to pick up the Triforce in 4. That gives him 4. So it looks like he may be on his way up to level 9.
Yeah, that row of level 8, 1, and 4 were so important to him because once he saw that ladder block in 2, he was just like, nope, I want to go get the Triforces out of the ones that I know. That Annie key was absolutely huge for him and opened up all 3 of these levels. And like I said earlier, you saw him kind of put his foot on the gas there and just he accelerated into the seed. And okay, let's get these 4 Triforces now. Let's get into 9. He's got 4 Triforces. He's ready to roll.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised that he's going back into 4. Is there anything you can think of that he'd be looking for? Maybe hoping that silvers or ladder are in here?
I think because he doesn't have a ladder right now and he has the bow already, that there's a couple items that can help him right now. That ladder and bow both. If it was just the silvers or the ladder both, I think if it was just the silvers, he wouldn't be doing this. But because he hasn't found that ladder yet, I think that's kind of one of those things that's in the back of his mind is, let's go ahead and check 4 while I'm right here. I'll go to 9 after this, but 4 is kind of a smaller dungeon, and when you already have the Triforce, you can fly. You're just looking for stair rooms, and it makes it very, very quick to get through these rooms.
Yep, he has found a spiral staircase with a bunch of Gibdo. Let's see if it pays off for him. And it does with the ladder.
Yeah, there's such a heads-up play by Random to come back in there. A lot of people would have bailed. I would have bailed. I'd have gone to 9, and this is kind of what separates Random from a lot of the pack, is that he's just, his instincts on what to do in the middle of a seed. It took me kind of second-guessing, okay, why is he doing this, to get in line with what he did there, and finding that ladder just makes a whole lot of sense there, so kudos to him for going back into 4.
So now that he's heading to level 9, he has a chance at Silvers and Red Ring being put into 9, and I do believe that these flags are generated so that Zelda and Ganon are in their normal rooms.
Yeah, so the one thing that he is going to be doing, and what is he in? He's in 2 now, getting the last Triforce out of 2. Okay, I thought he got 4 Triforces. Maybe he's at 3 right now. One of the things that you're going to be doing when you get into 9 is you have to approach Zelda's room from the south, right? Because she's in her room. All the other sides are blocked. So you'll see a lot of runners going north all the time. They're wanting to come from beneath Zelda because that's the only way you can get into her room. Especially if Ganon's not required, that's the best strategy. So that's why you'll see them dig the way they do at 9.
Oh, he either has 4 or he has 5, but he's definitely got enough now to go in.
I mean, we've all been practicing the Swiss flags lately, so maybe 5 is in his head right now, and he's kind of running this, not remembering he needs just 4. He's now going, okay, now he's going into 9, so maybe he got 5 Triforces, maybe he got 4, who knows, but he is in level 9, the first in level 9 at 3130.
Certainly a question for us to ask him in the post.
All right, so you'll see Random taking every stair right now. The reason that he's doing this and he's checking stairs is because the Silvers could be in here, Silvers and Red Ring, so he's not just looking for her room in isolation, he's also going to be taking stairs.
Yeah, we seem to have 2 mindsets in the community, one that goes through the stairway entirely and one that tries to go on their natural route up and then to the left in 9. Which do you prefer?
You don't want to ask me about level 9. My level 9s are notoriously terrible. I like taking every stair because it knocks out 2 stair rooms, if you will. There's 14 stairs inside of level 9. There's his silver arrows, so Random's gamble is paying off in spades right now, so he does find silvers. I like taking them because if there's 14 and you go through a stair and come back out the other side, you're checking off 2 rooms that have stairs out of the 14. Instead of just, okay, these are stairs and keep going, that's only 1, and now you're going to approach 14 single stairs. So I like taking every single stair.
Yep, and now the real question is he going to find the pig, and is the pig actually required for this seed?
Yeah, so while those silvers might not have been necessary, they're just such a relief for him, right? So he knows he does not have to leave 9 now, no matter what he finds in here, because there's nothing that can stop him. He's got the any key, he's got the ladder, he's just looking for her, maybe him. So he's not coming out of 9. This is a good feeling to be in these type of flags. What do you prefer in level 9? Are you a stair taker, or do you like to explore all an area until you're forced to take one?
If I don't have the silvers, I prefer knocking out 2 staircases at the same time. If it's a situation where I know that Ganon is not required, so I don't need the silvers, then I tend to stick to my route.
Yeah, I totally hear you there. So right now what he's doing too is he's clearing rooms that are quote-unquote easier to clear because it could have a compass inside. A compass would be absolutely huge in a situation like this. If Ganon's not required and you get the compass, it's just going to lead you to the path that you need to be on. You might even see him, take out rooms like that because there's only, he had the silver arrows. He's got a boomerang if he wants to, but he's looking for a compass while he's looking for her. And again, doesn't need to pick up that map because he found Ganon, so this is good. I mean, this is going to check one item off the list. So now when he finds her, that's it. It's game over. this fight might not be necessary, but it might also be necessary because he's got to get through the room north or south. Unfortunately, no red ring and low hearts. He does take a death here, but he's got some information and a huge lead on Captain Green at this point.
Yeah, that would have been something else. Well, I mean, he is one hit, so it's just a trade for who gets the first hit. But with one heart, I'd be hard pressed to get the hit off before dying myself.
Yeah, Ganon's kind of it's an art to fight Ganon. I mean, once you kind of learn his patterns and stuff like that, you get the edge up on him. But it's definitely an art for him to fight him cleanly.
I can't tell you how many times I've died now to a red Ganon. And we do have Captain Green going through level 1, which is one of the easier levels to get the Triforce out, so he's not out of this yet.
No, not at all. All he has to do is get into 9. The problem for him is going to be how much of 9 that Random has explored. He's been through the majority of the east side. Now he's on the west side here, so he just has so much of an information edge on Captain Green that's going to be tough to overcome. All right, round number 2. He can take 1 bop from Ganon. Ganon does 4 hearts of damage with the Hyrule Driver, but like you said, 1-hit KO. He does get that stun lock of 1 hit, clean him out with the arrow, and he is ready to find the girl.
I was going to check up first just in case. Unfortunately, it's not the case this time.
Yeah, that room, the way down from Ganon would not have been directly her room, just because, like you said, she's in her room. You got to go up to get into her. So he's always going north if he can. So he's trying any way that he can get over to the west side, just because he had that vertical shoot room before that did not let him through. But this is kind of the best case to get over down this left side, unless it's going to be a stairway. Be hysterical if the lights went out. Here's some music in the background. She lights a couple candles and she's right there. Be like Zelda After Dark.
Uh-oh, looks like we may have had a pig required after all. Is that shutter open?
Yeah, shutter pops open. There's Link instead of Zelda, because he is playing as the Zelda sprite. And chat, get your GGs out. Random Effect is finished. 37-11. What a quick seed from Random Effect, man. Yeah, that's a good point from Wolfman. The ladder was required, so if Random would not have gone back into 4 for that ladder, he would have gotten all the way there, not been able to get her because she was just north of a Chevy room.
Yeah, it's pretty rare that you can make it through a seed without a ladder block somewhere, but it's the worst when it's either her room, like a circle moat room, or it's his Chevy room or something right before.
We are joined by Random Effect now. Random, GG, sir.
Oh, hey, thank you.
So walk us through that, man. That one went pretty quick for you.
Yeah, these ones do. So I guess I can't stay for too long, but the most interesting things about this seed was all the blockage in early game, buying 2 keys and then finding the any key right away. That felt great. Other than that, picking up 5 Triforces for some reason was also funny to me.
We thought you were thinking about the Swiss flags. We were like, maybe he's thinking Swiss.
I sort of was, but I had too much stuff marked down to really read how many Triforces I had, because the way I mark on my own tracker, basically, it was kind of hard for me to tell how many Triforces I picked up already, and I didn't realize I already had 4. And I was like, oh, well, I mean, the life reboost was kind of nice. It could have helped at that point, but it was really silly. Once I picked it up and went into 9, I was like, wait a minute, I already have 4. That was, if I lose by like 30 seconds, I'm going to be pretty upset.
But I also wanted to ask you too about the decision you made in 4 after you had 4 Triforces, or if you thought maybe 5 Triforces. You went ahead and went back in and dug. What made you decide to go back in and dig 4, knowing that you were so close to being able to get into 9?
So I didn't realize that I had 4 Triforces.
I figured that was a good follow-up question after you already answered it, but there you go.
Yeah, and so my choices, because level 6 was recorder blocked, so my choices were level 7 or level 2 to get the quote-unquote last Triforce I needed. Well, level 7 is in a really bad spot, so I thought it would be just as much time for me to go through and find the item in level 4, which has a very high chance of being the ladder, than it also is to go into level 7. Because I thought I needed a Triforce, so I was like, well, level 7's really big. I know where the Triforce is in 2, so if I just find the ladder, which it has a high probability of being in here, let's just dive in and do it. And luckily enough, I mean, it was only going to be in 4 or 7, or I guess it could have been in 6. Sorry, it could have been in 6 if I would have found the recorder. But the power bracelet was still out there, the recorder was still out there, and the ladder was still out there. So the power bracelet recorder is either in. I mean, I didn't find the second item in 8 because I bounced out of that pretty early. I don't know what the other items were. But anyway, it was a mistake, and it worked out in my favor.
Well, it was definitely planned. It wasn't a mistake. It was GG's to you. Well thought out, because we were talking about it. I was like, Random is just one step ahead of everybody all the time. And so I think what he did was I kind of like worked it through, and then to hear you say afterwards, oh, I just miscounted. I'm like, oh, well, shoot.
Yeah, I just miscounted. Like I said, if you could see my tracker right now, it's kind of a jumble because I had too many blocks, and so just what is it, a serendipitous happenstance?
Right. Yeah. Right. Well, hey, I know you got to go, but real quick for this flag set, you're the grand champion. Congrats on that. Taking 9 points home. Talk about the flag set real briefly. I know you got to fly.
When I found the wand, I was like really excited about the boomstick opportunity, but never got the money back to really go and get that. Didn't really matter. I think the flag set it's very interesting because combining 1-hit KO, or sorry, 0-hit KO. No, sorry, it's 1-hit KO. Combining 1-hit KO with a boomstick is they kind of wash each other out. So it's really like, I think in all of the races I did, the 9, 8, 9, whatever it was, I think I bought the boomstick one time. One time I had the wand and I had the money to get the boomstick, because with 1-hit KO, you can force your bombs really easily if you know what you're doing, and just getting bombs is not that bad. So I was never really in almost any race. I was never in bomb trouble. So there's really almost no need for the boomstick. That would probably be like, I mean, it's the boomstick fun. But I'd probably, if I was going to change anything about the flags, I would turn one of those off. Like keep the 1-hit KO, lose the boomstick, or keep the boomstick and lose the 1-hit KO. Because it just, for me at least, and probably for a lot of other people, it didn't really mesh well for what you wanted to do with this seed. Otherwise, I really like I'm a big fan of random Triforces, and so anything that's less than 8 I actually quite like, because it kind of has you metagame a bit more and gamble a bit more. I kind of like that. I like the gambling on what dungeons you're going to go into. You saw me go into 7 really briefly, even though I knew where everything else was, and I could get back into 1 and 8. I found level 7. I was like, if the Triforce is like 2 rooms in here, I kind of just want to grab it. So I went 6 rooms in or whatever, and I was like, okay, we're done. I just wanted to see if I could find a quick item or a quick Triforce. And that's the kind of play you maybe have to make on certain things like this, where you don't need to collect everything. You can just kind of hard gamble.
Yeah, we talked about that briefly because we were saying, okay, you had that information collecting period, that first 15, 20 minutes of, okay, where are the levels? What are the big levels? What are the small ones? And then I said, okay, and I noted it right during the telecast, and I said, Random's flipped a switch. He's gone past the information gathering to now, here's how I'm attacking this seed. And we saw it in you. I mean, you put your foot on the accelerator, you just went with it. And to watch you blitz through 1, 8, and 4 like you did as fast as possible, it was cool to watch. I mean, it was a lot of, this is my second time watching these flags, but seeing you attack that the way you did and then get into 9, there's a reason you're sitting here first place.
I was a little afraid that I might have been behind him. Is he in level 9 right now?
He just got in, just found the ladder. Oh, sorry, Gary.
To give you a recap, he did not find level 1 and level 4 until they were the last levels left for him to find. He spent a lot of time looking through Deadwoods, Graveyard, Death Mountain, looking for the white sword item, which is still at large. And I think he got his ladder in his 4th Triforce about a minute and a half ago and is now in 9.
Oh, wow. Okay. I actually thought I was kind of behind with... I mean, I could have been behind with how much I got blocked early on. Like, if you just went up to the north and found all the levels in the any key, and you didn't do level 1 or 8 or 4 like I did early because maybe you didn't have a candle or something like that, you know, that was kind of the issue I had in my head. But I'm glad it didn't really hinder me. The other thing that I was really worried about was the candle. I kind of went out of my way to get the candle because I'd found 2 candle shops right next to each other. I was like, I don't know where the other candle shop is at all, if I can even get to it. So I might as well get this candle while I can, while I have the money. So I kind of went out of my way to get that, and that opened up quite a bit of the overworld. It was really nice to not do any of Death Mountain and any of the Dead Woods because they didn't really yield anything as far as I know.
Yeah, I think your instincts were right. I think, Fury, I think you agree with me here that Captain Green is probably ahead the first 15 minutes of this race, just because of the blocks that you had random inside the levels that you were in earlier. He had a little more knowledge of some of the levels and some of the overworld because of that. But then, like Fury said, he kind of went left instead of going right. Didn't find 1 and 4, unfortunately. And that was kind of the big turning point. There was the middle of the race. You were able to just go where he was still trying to collect that information.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with that. I think his only chance was Red Ring and Silver's not defaulting to 9, and that being the white sword item once you got going.
Where was the bow again? Was he in 1 or 8?
It was 2. The floor item in 2 right below.
Oh, that's right. It was in 2. That's right. I knew I picked it up as a floor item, but then I was like, or I thought I picked it up as a floor item, but I was like, wait a minute, the wand was the floor item in 1. Where was this? I picked it up. I just forgot that I went back into 2 like a couple of times. And I was a little flustered that I died. It's just so many Molas in there. I was getting a little upset.
Well, like Fury said, they still hit you just as hard just because they're 0 HP.
Yeah. And well, the funny thing was I was like, I should have like switched to the candle to finish them off, but I got a little stubborn. I was like, I don't want to flip through my items right now because then I'll just die. I'll just keep swinging and hope they're the best, and got me like twice. Anyway, I got to run, but thank you for the commentary and the restream, and GG to Captain whenever he gets in here telling that for me. It's been a great tournament. Thanks to Garion for putting it on and hosting and being here every week. It's great. Thanks for Redbird, my co-BR man.
Yeah, you got it, man.
And it's been great to be doing this and setting it all up. And we'll have the Tournament of Champions in a few months. And with this victory, hopefully that kind of seals me in there. I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, I think you're pretty much set on points. So yeah, GG's again. Yeah. Random Effect is your champion of the Boomstick Fund. So chat, pass along your GG's, and we will pass along your kind wishes to Captain Green as well.
All right, thank you.
So Fury, we still got Captain Green going through, which is cool to see. You always want to see somebody finish up, especially after a long tournament like this. Unfortunately, he's going to see that the Ganon is required. Doesn't know where the silvers are. We'll see what he decides to do after that. But kudos to Captain Green for finishing this out.
Yep, I do believe he walked through the silvers room as well, so he has a lot of locations with staircases they can go back and check. He will find out, however, that the ladder that he bombed in frustration will be required.
Yeah, absolutely. So even though it stunk to go back and find it, he did need it. So yeah, this is good to see. If you don't watch a lot of Z1 Rando, usually you get to Ganon. If you don't have the silver arrows, you're kind of okay, whatever. But you sometimes you're able to bomb out of his room, and Captain Green was able to do that. The west wall was able to get bombed out of. Unfortunately, can't get up to Zelda because the only path there looks like it's through Ganon's room through that shutter, and he's required anyway. So we're able to see more of 9 than we saw, but still needs those silvers. You do see, as we're watching Captain Green kind of solo here, you do see the path that he was taking through every single one of these, and it's just a smart path when you have Zelda in her room, is he was always going south to north. I mean, you see him doing the vertical stripes all the way through. So he was on the east coast, and he was on the east side of 9, and he was working his way west, going north every single time, and that's just such a smart way to explore 9. So Captain Green definitely knows what he's doing here.
Yeah, a lot of people go north right on entry and kind of do the spiral to go around to try and find a room. I wonder, I have a lot of races where I'm kind of behind, so my strategy when I enter 9 kind of switches based on what time I enter and what time I think the siege should be completable. So I'm saying if you got the option of up, left, or right, is there a time where you'd go left first?
For me, I always go right to left. I really do. I hate my fear. Anytime if I'm behind, if I'm ahead, no matter what it is, my fear is always that if the right is an option, and I go up or I go left, and like she is tucked down in the bottom southeast, and I have to explore all of 9, and all of a sudden she's right by start. It takes me 10 seconds to check the right door, so I always check right if I can. Otherwise, I'm an up person. I always go up. I almost never go left.
And he happens upon the staircase with the silver arrows for the second time, and this time he's going to be able to grab it.
So while we see Captain Green on his trek back to Ganon, he knows where Ganon is now. Let's shout out the 10 people who were in this. Gary and Old Wolf, of course, was the creator, designer of this, and then there was 9 other entrants. We had Trenton GL, JLo7, Sis Crusher, Panzer Dave, Catastrophe 573, Tetraly, Malagord, Random, and Captain Green. So GG's to everybody for this tournament. This was a fun one to watch. I've caught a couple of these, like I said. It's been really cool, just different flag sets that we've seen come out of the Battle Royale, and this has been it's been a lot of fun. I think he's actually trying to get there without killing Ganon. He's still trying to look for any way he can.
Yeah, might as well seal off that opportunity to get into her room without having to go through a pig. But unfortunately, if he does that, he will find he has to backtrack.
Yeah, I think it's like that's the only way you can get through there. So if you're designing your own Battle Royale, Fury, what's your favorite flag to have on?
If I could actually get the amount of people to play it, probably would go with a mix of Blackout and Swordless.
Blackout, nice. Why Blackout?
It forces room memorization and for you to be able to understand where you are without having to use a bomb. Because if you start using your bombs too frivolously to learn where you are, then you're going to have to be really good at 10 counting and really lucky to find enemies that will cooperate for the 10 count.
Yeah, so what Fury's talking about there, if you're not familiar with it, whenever you get into a blackout room, if you drop a bomb on that, frame or two of the explosion there, it lights the room up. So you can actually visually see what that room looks like. Otherwise, you're doing it by feel, and knowing the room textures and where the blocks are and stuff puts people that don't have to do that at a huge advantage.
And that was a smart move by Captain Green. He noticed that the pig was on a route that was a little half to full tile to the right of what it would normally be, and adjusted and compensated for it.
Yeah, that was real good knowledge of the movement, knowing that he was coming back vertically. One of the things you can always do is watch the fireballs, right? And as soon as you see those fireballs go vertical, you know he's coming north or south. And that's what Captain Green saw, and like you said, made that one adjustment. It was very well done.
All right, he successfully navigates the Chevy room with all of that nonsense and gets to the girl and saves her with a time of 53 minutes and 49 seconds.
Get your GGs out in chat for Captain Green for finishing up this race, and not only this race, but the entire tournament of Boomstick Fun. This was a lot of fun to watch. We're going to try to get Captain Green in here if he can. This was a good one. It's a good way to cap off a fun tournament of 10 excellent runners and a really good heads-up match here.
Comment, want to buy ladder.
Yeah, that's I can understand the frustration there for sure. And speaking of the devil, we do have Captain Green joining us now. Captain Green, GG, sir.
GG.
Random did have to leave early. He also wanted to pass along those GGs, but bring us back to the seed. What are your thoughts here?
I think I just routed that as poorly as possible because unless I marked something wrong, I was ladder blocked out of the Triforce out of I think 3 different levels before I found the ladder, unfortunately. So that was the big issue for me. And then I thought it was fitting that even if I hadn't found the ladder, Zelda ended up being ladder blocked anyway. So no getting around that one.
Yeah, I saw you bomb that ladder. I'm like, well, he's mad that he found it now, but he's probably gonna be happy once he gets to the girls' room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need that ladder for level 2, and like you said, a couple other levels. Your instinct was right. You needed that ladder pretty much to get through this seed as fast as possible, because otherwise you're hunting down a recorder to try to get through 7 or 6 it was, and the ladder was definitely the quickest way through.
Yeah, my biggest concern there was that I had left it behind in 3, and that's why I was going up in like Death Mountain and other things doing weird stuff, because I figured if it was in 3, Random probably already had it and that lost anyway, so I kind of needed to go for like the big play, but yeah, it turned out to be in 4 anyway, so...
Yeah, I don't think we ever gave a full item rundown. Not that we have it completed, but it was wand raft in 1, bow in 2, any key in 3, ladder in 4, power bracelet in 5. Nobody found items in 6 or 7. 8 was red candle and blue nanner. 9 was red ring and silvers. It was forced after all to 9. And then we had ladder heart, the regular nanner was the Armos item, and I don't think anybody found the white sword item either. So we had 3 at large.
Yeah, that's the other weird one that I was looking for, and I just somehow never found it.
And nobody did. I think it was either raft blocked or power bracelet or something. And I know this race didn't individually turn out the way you wanted it to, but you do need a big congratulations, because you did take second in those 6 important points in the Battle Royale. So talk about the entire journey of the 9 weeks of this, and talk about that, not just specifically this one, but how do you feel you did on this flag set?
Yeah, I had a lot of fun in this flag set. I did manage to pick up a couple wins along the way. It's actually more like 18 weeks almost, because I was in the first Boomstick Fun one as well. So definitely shout outs to Gary, and thank you for putting both of these together. Appreciate that. And yeah, I mean, I thought it was a really fun flag set. So yeah, this race of course didn't go the way I wanted to, but I definitely had fun along the way, and I enjoyed today as well.
I asked Fury this question, and I'm kind of interested in your thoughts too. You're definitely one of the better Z1 rando runners. If you had to design your own Battle Royale, what's the one flag you would want to put in that?
That's a tough one.
Putting you on the spot, you got to do it.
All right, First Quest Dungeons.
Nice. Why? I completely agree, sir.
No, other than that, I'm actually looking forward to the beta as well a lot, going live. So I'd probably want to try something with the Heart Shuffle on as well once that happens.
Have you joined the fall tournament coming up?
I have. I haven't actually tried the Swiss flags yet, but I'm definitely looking forward to that. That's what actually got me into Randomizer, was watching the last tournament they had. I watched a ton of matches on that one, so and that's actually what got me into running Vanilla Zelda as well. So shoutouts to Fred, of course, for putting this together, and everyone who's been involved in the Randomizer community. I've had a blast these past 7 months or so.
Yeah, it's crazy how some of us get into this by just finding some of that content that gets put out there. I know Speed Gaming and Random Mania do a good job of hosting a lot of these races that we do. And even before that, a lot of the VODs that got put up, even back when Jam Evil was doing all the races and the VODs, that's how I got into it too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was like I was watching it and was like, that looks like fun. I think I could do that. And so I gave it a shot. And I'm really glad I did.
Yeah, you're definitely somebody to be reckoned with. I mean, you're this is going to be the first one for you coming up, like you said, but you're not going to be not going to be somebody that's coming in like a rookie. I mean, you've got a lot of weight behind your name, and a lot of people are scared when you get in a room with them. So GG's to you again, and very well done on the second place in this entire tournament. And then this probably puts you with enough points to kind of guarantee yourself as the tournament champion. So what do you think about that?
That would be awesome. There's still a lot of battle royals going on, so probably not 100% sure, but I'm hoping to make the end. Especially since that play-in race, if you look at some of the names who have points, that's going to be a really scary one to try and get through.
Yeah, there's so many good runners. I mean, the talent level of the Z1 Rando pool is so deep, right? It's not just, 3, 4, 5 guys that can win a match at any time. There's 20, 20, 25 guys that are very, very good at this Rando, and it makes it a lot of fun to have these mini tournaments, and then you see the list of people that might be in this tournament of champions as well, and you're just like, oh my God, it's a murderer's row.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fury, well, that's all I got. I mean, Captain Green, any last words there? Fury, any other questions you got?
No, just thank you, Redbird and Fury, for commentary, Garion for tracking, Wolfman for picking up the restream again. Much appreciated. And Redbird, I guess I will see you later tonight for the Brothers Relish.
Absolutely, I'm looking forward to it, man, for sure.
Yeah. All right, thanks.
Wait. I have you in an interview. You have to answer questions. What's your route? I can ask that, right? That's legit.
I guess it's a legit question.
I'm kidding. Don't worry about it. All right. Well, thanks, Captain Green. And just like he said, thanks to Gary and Old Wolf for tracking, Wolfman for the restream. Fury, take us out of here, man. It was good working in the booth with you, man. I appreciate it.
Yep, it was great working with you too, Redbird Red. And with that, that's going to conclude our stream on this channel for now. But go ahead and give any and all of us who worked on this, Wolfman, Garion, Captain Green, Random Effect, Redbird Red, and myself, follow or come check us out anytime you like. For now, see you later.
Good night, everybody.